started in homeschool. Actually, we've been started since first part of July officially, but we were just doing the things we see and stuff like that. Now we're starting the stuff that, the nitty-gritty, the reading, writing, math, that stuff that you have to do a little bit more structure with it. So you can see from my table, I'm getting things going on the computer. I've set up a program that I can keep track of each day, what they read, what they do in math. It's more than what I'm required to do, but it lets me know what they're doing. Now my boys are 5th grade and 7th grade. They're both working in Saxon math, which I found to be fantastic, the way it teaches them a new concept and then reviews the old concepts without too much annoying repetition, and just keeps making it more and more complex. My 5th grader, Rethan, he has dyslexia very severely, so we're still working on sight words and very simple reading for him. In fact, this book might be a little bit hard for him at first, but we will keep going, and one day he will work at it and he will get it. Hi Rex, how are you? He helps keep Rethan a little bit happier and easier to deal with when he gets frustrated. I have a couple binders for the boys that will have all their schoolwork in it so they can keep it with them anytime. These logic puzzles are some things that I found called perplexers, which get them to think a little bit outside the box in different ways. This is for Shane, to give him a bit of a challenge. I gave him this first one, he did it and said, "Where's another one?" So I think we've got a hit there. Another thing we'll be doing are analogies, and these are really good at building vocabulary and logical thinking. The other thing for Shane are some probably more complex than he can think of challenges, but I want him to always be going and thinking, not that everything is too easy, and to try to have his brain think differently. So this is another book that Rethan will probably be reading. He's been working on that one. So that's math. That's reading for Rethan. Now Shane, for his reading, Shane will be reading, for the most part, self-selected. So he'll read some novels, and I'll throw in some books and say, okay, you got to read something that's, nonfiction. Maybe some Popular Mechanics, which he'll love. National Geographic or Smithsonian, which I might need to help him a little bit with those, but continue to build his vocabulary, because he's been reading at high school level since probably 2nd or 3rd grade. So just keeping him challenged in that. Now writing, we're going to be doing a lot of writing creative stories or writing about where we're at, or I might have them start writing some stuff, and we'll start doing a blog and people can see their writing on that. Let us know if you might be interested in seeing their creativity, because they've got quite the creative side for coming up with imaginative stuff. The other thing I wanted to point out is you don't really see notebooks. If you look at my table, there's a notebook down there, but that's more for me. The boys will be using computer, tablets, and for the most part, typing things in instead of notebooks or writing, because they both have dysgraphia. With Shane's, I think it's probably very closely related to the Ehlers-Danlos, so he doesn't have the muscle control and the muscle strength of a typical child, so his hands would really get tired quickly. And Rethan, I think it's related to so for Rethan, it is probably related to all of his difficulties with memory and the dyslexia, very severe and everything. So it's a lot easier to type the letter on the computer for them. You also probably noticed there is a calculator here, and I have times tables for them. Both of them have a lot of difficulty with memorizing the math facts, but they're very good at doing the story problems and the calculations, that figuring out the logical parts of things. So I really don't want them to be held back by their slow processing speed. Shane's processing speed is extremely slow, although he's very, very smart. You give him time and he can figure things out very well, even almost up to algebra, probably now. In fact, when he gets done with Saxon 7-6, he'll be ready for algebra. But I give them lots of time to process things. I give them calculators on things that are the thinking process, on ones that they should be able to do it without the calculator. Sometimes I'll have them do it without it, so they still process. And Rethan actually does most of his without a calculator. He likes that challenge. So it takes some time. Time is the big thing as well, of remembering to have patience, remembering to set a routine, and give them each the help they want. And I know one thing I'm going to have to focus on with both of them is making sure that I keep them independent, that they don't always have me sitting next to them doing it, that any parts that they can do on their own, they do it independently. That will be a big thing for me to focus on with Rethan. With Shane, the big thing will be to focus on keeping him challenged and moving forward, and really trying to apply the things that he really does know. Now, as far as things beyond reading, writing, math, social studies, science, we'll be doing a lot of that with places we visit. They'll do some. I'm going to look at the national standards and see what their grade levels need to cover so they wouldn't be behind in case they need to take tests at some point on subjects and such. And PE will be doing their physical therapy exercises, and some just walking and exploring and things like that. And we'll learn different games and things that will go with PE, and health will be as well with that. We're learning healthy habits and stuff that we always talk about. And they'll have and swimming sometimes will be in there as well. And they'll have other non-core subjects like art and home ec and things like that that will be easy to just do the things that just come up as we're thinking about them. So I hope this was a little bit useful to people. I'm a teacher with a background in special education, so to me it's more just a matter of figuring out exactly what I need to do for my boys, and the teaching part of it is fairly easy, except for when they are frustrated with me or want to do something else different. But if you have any questions on ideas how to help your kids, and ideas on maybe computer, internet, we'll be using a number of different internet sites to reinforce what we're learning. Shane, my older one, really likes Prodigy. It's kind of like playing a game where you answer a math problem before you get to fight the battle. My younger one, Rethan, isn't able to read yet, so that one's not very much fun for him. For phonics, we'll do Starfall, and then I may pay for Lexia for Rethan because that's a very good very good website to help teach the basics of reading and reinforce it. Reflex Math is a good one for math facts. I probably won't use that with my boys because it focuses on speed, and both of my boys' process speed is slow, so it becomes very frustrating for them. But I'll be looking at some other ones to use for them. But let me know what good websites you've found for teaching, and if you need suggestions, contact me. Subscribe and like. Bye.